What's up everyone? I'm back with another video. Today I got something very special for you. We are running through a series. It's a beginner's guide in regards to nutrition. I know a lot of you are struggling to get their diet and nutrition on track. And I know sometimes it's very confusing when you're looking at all these articles and looking for ways to get in shape and looking for new tips on how to get the right diet on track. And it's very hard. I know there's so much information out there. So I'm here for you today to break it down and make it as easy as possible. The series contains multiple videos, and today we start with the absolute fundamentals, the basics, which means we're looking at what are macronutrients. You're thinking, what the hell is that? So it's actually super easy. It's mostly known as carbs, fats, and proteins. If you want to have a rich, balanced, and healthy diet, you need to have a good amount of proteins, fats, and carbs. So therefore, we're looking at a mix of different foods. I'm gonna explain later on what the different foods could be which you could eat. So let's start with the basic and let's focus on each of the parts. Number one is proteins. Why do I need proteins? 1 gram of protein has 4 calories. Why do I need proteins? For several reasons, but I give you 2 benefits why you should incorporate proteins in your diet, because it helps with keeping muscles and it also helps with building new muscles, especially if you're trying to tone your body, you're looking to gain a little bit of muscles and therefore get your body back in shape, and therefore you need proteins to fuel your muscle. Another benefit of proteins, the process of proteins in the body help you feel fuller and also controls your hunger levels, which means you feel fuller for longer and you don't get these hunger attacks, which is actually great. So don't neglect the importance of protein. What foods do we have which are protein rich? For example, we have meats, we have fish, we have eggs. There's also plant variations like tofu. We have nuts sometimes, which are crossing also into the fats. We go in that later, but nuts are also very rich. Seeds are very rich in proteins. So there's plenty of options which you could use. Stick with me until the end, not only of this video, but until the full series. I got a super surprise for you. And then I'm gonna explain more later on. Macronutrient number 2 is carbs, carbohydrates. Like the protein, 1 gram of carbs is exactly 4 calories. So it's the same. But the big difference is that the proteins are gonna use very differently than the carbs. So proteins are, as we heard before, are for muscle keeping and muscle building. The carbs, they act as fuel for the body. Let's put it like this, a super easy example: when you put gas in your car, it is the energy, the fuel for the car, as the carbs are the fuel for the body. It helps also with maintaining several things in the body to keep the normal function of the body. What are potential foods you could eat to give you carbs? For example, rice, potatoes. There's lentils, which are a crossing path between proteins and also carbs, because they have a high amount of proteins but a even higher amount of carbs. So there's plenty of foods which you could eat which are also very good and healthy for you. They're just as an example, right? And last but not least, we're looking at the fats. So now comes the very tricky part, which most of you maybe don't know and therefore have a hard time, for example, losing fat or staying in the same shape as they are right now. Because when it comes to fats, it's a little bit different. Because when you look at 1 gram of fat compared to proteins and carbs, which have 4 calories per gram, when you look at fats, you have 9 calories per gram, which is more than double of proteins and carbs. So we need to be very careful. We don't eat plenty of fats. I mean, good fats are very healthy and they also help with certain things in the body that the body can function, also for the brain. Healthy fats are very important for brain function. So we don't want to miss this part. We just need to be careful that we don't eat too much fats because they have such a dense amount of calories, right? What are potential foods you could eat that give you good amounts of fat? A very good example is avocado. We have nuts, lots of different nuts which are very healthy, which are also very good snack. And we also have, for example, fishes. Salmon has healthy omega-3s and 6, for example, which are very good for brain function. And therefore, we cannot neglect the fact that we need fats. You just need to be careful. Guys, to sum up this video and actually use that information in your diet right away, what I'll show you now is how I proportion the use of the macronutrients. For example, we have 100% of your daily calories, right? And then I put it like this. What worked for most of my clients and what I call the balanced diet, which actually gives everyone results, and then it needs a little bit of trial and error to make it your perfect diet. What I would do is I would use 30% of all my calories coming from proteins, right? Then we have around 40 to 45% of carbs. In this case, I'm gonna take 45% of carbs and I'm gonna take 25% of fats because my main source of energy comes from carbs. I felt that the carbs I eat are very easily digestible for my body. They fuel me with energy. I have always high energy levels, which is great. And also, the amount of fats help me keeping all my functions in the brain, staying intact and staying alert. And therefore, it's enough for me, right? But it also needed a little bit of trial and error to get the perfect diet for me. You can start with the amount of 30% of protein, then 45% of carbs and 25% of fats, and then adjust along the way. Try it for 4 weeks, see how it has affected your body, how you feel, how everything goes, and also how, let's say, the training is. If you're having high energy levels, if you're feeling drained, then you need to change that, of course. Then try again, try maybe with a little bit more proteins, a little bit less carbs, or try with a little bit higher carbs, a little bit less fats, for example. So you need to work around and adjust a little bit, and then you will find the perfect diet for you and what works for you. If you need a little bit of help with that, please let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be eager to help you. This was it for the first episode of this series. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with everyone who might need some help. And if you want to see other videos, let me know in the comment section down below. That was it for today. We will see us in the next video.